For great ideas and practical tools you can start using tomorrow to grow your business and separate you from the competition, you've come to the right place. If you're into B2B marketing and sales, then welcome to the one and only B2B Marketing and Sales Podcast. With over 60 and counting total years in the trenches of businesses small and large, they have a plethora of knowledge and experience that generate you more leads, capture more clients, ring up more sales. Well, doggone it, just make you more money. How about that? Always thought-provoking, yet dubiously entertaining. Please welcome to their respective microphones across 3 time zones, your co-ringmasters, the Dave Loomis, and not the rock star, Steve Miller.
Hey everybody, it's Steve Miller, better known as Kelly's dad, marketing gunslinger. Welcome to the B2B Marketing and Sales Podcast with my close personal, smarter than hell author of Marketing is Everything We Do, Mr. David Mayo Loomis, right there. David Mayo Loomis. Welcome, sir. Good to see you.
That's my name. Don't wear it out. Or do wear it out.
Do wear it out. That's right. And I say it's good to see you. Of course, it's because you and I are on, we're looking at each other on video. And for those of you that are just listening.
Nice to hear you.
It's nice to hear you. Nice to hear you too. So you made a comment to me recently about something that I know nothing about, a marketing tool that I know nothing about.
That's pretty hard to do.
I just act like it's that I know all these things. Okay?
Steve pretends to know that he
for the most part, it's just.
But in this one, he's admitting he doesn't know.
I know nothing about this. Okay, and what he made a comment about how he was watching these amazing B2B videos on TikTok.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. And I also have heard, I do a lot of voice of customer interviewing, as you know, in the B2B space. And recently I've been talking to people that I interview about all sorts of different types of products and services that they're buying. And I'm always asking them, hey, what kind of media do you consume? Where do you get information about X, Y, and Z? And people have started mentioning, oh, I watch TikTok videos about this. And I'm like, oh, you watch TikTok videos about dancing moves or people jumping off, falling off a roof or ski jumping? No, I watch TikTok videos about construction sites and how to optimize fuel consumption and how to maintain my auto lift in my service bay. I mean, stuff like that you would just never think people are watching YouTube for.
I pride myself for being very open-minded and and I always say every marketing tool works for somebody. Okay, they might not all work for everybody, but they work for somebody. So and I have really never looked at TikTok for business. Now, what there are all of the TikTok videos just short?
No. In fact, there's some very long ones. They originally, so it came out in 2016, and originally they were all very short, and they had to be very, very short. Right. But now you can string together, as an editor, you can string together a whole bunch of stuff and make longer videos.
I had no idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, definitely. It's not all shorts at all.
So can you give us a little bit of a background about TikTok and like what it's all about? How did it, and how did you hear about it? It just came through those voice of customer conversations?
No. I mean, I have 2 daughters that are now they're 26 and 28. So what was that? That was 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago. TikTok came out. So this is 2023 and came out in 2016. And I don't think I got on it for a couple years, but they did. And then I started taking a look at it. And honestly, at first it was, people doing, dances, and then there would be, it's sort of a meme plus plus plus. So,
Cats. I think of TikTok and I think of, okay, cat videos.
you think of that, or maybe you think of like, remember the ice bucket challenge?
Oh yeah, the ice
from
bucket
years
challenge,
ago,
sure.
which was basically a viral video motif type thing that happened. And so TikTok, in a lot parts of TikTok, operate in that way, in that somebody will do something and somebody will copy it. So there's a skateboarder that it films himself to a Fleetwood Mac song drinking cranberry juice, and it becomes very popular, and then everybody copies it and tries to do the same thing and that sort of thing. So I mean, there's the fun and entertaining side to TikTok, but it's incredibly nichey, which is why I think you would really, really love this, because in a lot of ways it's all about the moose. It's all about micro interest content. So when you're on it, when you sign up for TikTok, there's two things that you can basically take a look at on your screen. And it would be there's something called a For You page, which is its algorithm suggesting stuff. And then there's others that are like the things that you have already expressed interest in and the things that you're following. So you can follow certain things. Okay. But like I said, it's the algorithm is scary good, in that once you, if you like something, if you like a video, or if you actually comment in a video, it knows that. And then certainly if you follow it, those are all things that contribute to the algorithm. The other thing that contributes is how long you actually watch a video that comes up. So a feed comes up and it's just in rotation. It just, next thing comes up. And if you watch it, it recognizes every second that you continue to watch it. And it like, oh, he likes this. He likes this, or she likes this. If you just scroll and say, I don't want to watch this, and go on to the next one, it knows that too. And it's like, oh, I'm not going to show him much more of that. So I'm going to show him something else. And it just the more you use it, the better it gets. But let's say that I am auto mechanic, and I work on, I don't know, I work on old Mustangs. I mean, if I go into TikTok and I search, Mustang engine repair, and a video comes up and I watch the thing and I like it and follow the person, lo and behold, I'm going to be shown more frequently other ones that I had no idea it existed about, repairing, Mustangs. And that's the way, honestly, it could be with almost any B2B business. And more and more there's content in there about marketing, a lot of B2C marketing, but a lot of people getting on, and there's this whole work-life balance thing. A lot of people are consuming those types of videos, advice from people about how to operate inside your business or work or your career, those sort of things. And then just as an aside, if you're not a user, like they would, if you, let's say you're interested in, you're a golfer, and
yes, sir.
So big news today yesterday about Live and PGA. We won't get into that, but
please don't.
But so if you watched a lot of golf videos on it, then you would be in the hashtag golf talk. Like there's a whole, and so any kind of special interest that you could possibly dream up in your wildest imagination, there's a quote unquote side of TikTok that has this and has its own hashtag, and there's people that are interested in that micro niche. So it's the moose.
But don't Doesn't YouTube do that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. YouTube can do it, but it does a little bit differently. And it's also serving up ads all the time and in a different way. The format is just different. It's just sort of like a beginning and an end, as opposed to like sort of a constant feed type thing. So, but I looked up some stats that are kind of interesting. Adults spend 62 minutes a day watching digital videos.
62 minutes a day watching digital videos.
Yeah, so an hour a day.
Wow.
Average adult. Okay. 90% of people 18 to 44 are watching YouTube. So that obviously we know that YouTube is incredibly popular. But then there's tutorials. Like 30% of people say they're watching how-to videos and tutorial videos, on YouTube, and 23% said they're watching influencers. So vlogs, or people that are talking about a certain subject that are experts in it. So
right.
People's tastes in general, they go back and forth. Now we work and we play, and now people are working from home, and now even our video feeds are a mix between entertainment and education, and helping me with my job. So that's what I'm seeing. So now TikTok. So there's 1 billion active users monthly.
1 billion.
Yeah. And there's only 4.5 billion people that use the internet at all, supposedly. So 20% of those internet users are active users of TikTok globally. There have been 3 billion downloads of the app, though. So a third of the downloads are active users now.
And correct me if I'm wrong. And this is just on mobile, right?
Yeah. In fact, almost everybody watches TikTok on their phone, on that size. I happen to have it on my iPad, and I watch it on my iPad, and my kids think I'm kind of weird. But nobody watches it on a desktop. So yes, all mobile. The average session time on TikTok is 11 minutes.
Wow.
And if you compare that with other platforms, it's like 2 or 3 or 4 times in some cases. The average is higher. So there's 100 million US users. Half are below the age of 29. So half are 30, half of them are age 30 and above. But I mean, it does skew younger. But I mean, if you think about it, there's people now, obviously, that are 18, 20, 21, 22 years old that are getting into the workforce. And then then we're talking about nine whole years, age 21 to 30 that are active users, and they're in the workforce. And a lot of them are working at B2B companies that are listening to us right now.
Right.
And the growth of the adults over the 30, it's growing. It's grown 5.5 times over the last 18 months. So it's definitely catching up. So let's see. I just, there are companies that are, have their own TikTok. And then there's people that talk about brands, B2B brands on TikTok using a hashtag that has the brand name in it. So there are some, as you can expect, some of the company brands are sort of technology related because it's a tech platform. So you've got Adobe on there with, 500,000 followers. You've got Shopify on there, people that are, and those are sort of people that are starting their own businesses, or maybe they're looking at Adobe and they're getting tips on how to do it for themselves or for business or whatever.
Right.
But let's take a heart of the line B2B brand like Caterpillar.
Okay.
So if you search Caterpillar on TikTok, there's a bunch of weird stuff that has to do with, caterpillars. But really, the Caterpillar brand
That's
comes
stupid.
up. Yeah, to you, but there's people that love caterpillars. Exactly. Caterpillar talk.
That's
So,
right.
so I've got this this feed up so it gave me Caterpillar equipment, and I'm holding this up for Steve to see.
Yeah. Okay.
I can look at top videos, regular video, all the videos, users, in other words, companies that might have Caterpillar in their name. And actually, Caterpillar, the corporation, doesn't seem to have like sort of a blue check mark type thing, that at least that's near the top.
Right.
But there's a ton of, and you could also search by the hashtags, but there's just a ton of videos. These are all hardcore videos about people using their Caterpillar tractors.
Yeah. So what, give me an example of like how many does it say how many views they've had or anything like that?
Let's see. Well, yeah, this one has like this particular one that I just looked at has 1,700 views.
1,700 views.
Here's one with 95,000 views. That's just, it's a Caterpillar tractor going along, and it's the guy talking about his tractor. I've got.
Let's take a 1-minute dive into its history. Back in 1995, Syncrude Canada and O&K collaborated.
So this is about the O&K RH400. I mean, so this is who's interested in this. 28,000 people have liked this video, which is about a big piece of cat equipment that's in the middle of Canada working on some crude oil stuff. It goes on and on. I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of these videos, and you can look here. It says others searched for Caterpillar equipment hacks, Caterpillar Equipment Expo 2023, Caterpillar equipment damage, Caterpillar equipment 777, which is a particular model. I mean, it just goes on. Caterpillar equipment mechanic.
Okay, so it's giving you examples of what other people are.
What other people searched, what
right.
they searched for. Yep. And
right.
if I just look at hacks, these are machine operators telling you what their hacks are for working with their Caterpillar equipment. You just don't expect when you say TikTok to hear that.
I certainly didn't. And shame on me. But so okay, now help me understand how I get awareness, all right, which to me is a very, very fuzzy thing. How do you see how a company, for example, can do TikTok and get people to reach out to them?
Yeah, I think that it would be great. It's great for current users of a product to inform them and to give them tips and tricks and to make them feel maybe part of the club that you want to belong to, right? And
that's actually a very good point. That's a very good point. Is that people who are current customers, who have, some kind of equipment, from Caterpillar, that, they can go in and there's like this you say hashtag or something.
Yeah. Maybe they can create a special hashtag for their current customers that has to do with certain incentives or certain type of special content, not just hacks from the community, but hacks from that Caterpillar, the corporation, knows about.
Right.
And uncopyable experience, like this is what you talk about, which is
Mhm.
so what, they can talk about some of those things, and it's hard to copy those. Let's see. The other would be, comparison videos of certain types of equipment versus other types of equipment,
Mhm.
which would be informative and subtly salesy.
Well, they'd be totally salesy.
You
There's
know,
nothing subtle about it, and nothing wrong with that.
right, right. Now, right
Uh,
now, ads will appear very infrequently in your like a real ad, like might appear in your feed, but a
Mhm.
lot of it is like sponsored content. So you could do sponsored content
Right.
and pay for it to appear in people's feeds that are interested in
So, like
heavy
you
equipment.
mentioned the 777. All right,
Yeah,
which for me that's an airplane. But
yeah, it does. It does.
for people who are customers of Caterpillar, that's a product. So they could have hashtag, cat 777 or something like that, and so anybody who either
Yeah, it's
already
a dump truck. It's a big dump truck. It's a
okay,
100-ton haul truck.
jeez, okay, little
100-ton.
one,
I've been in one of those.
and so they can create information for the people who do have who have the 777, and
Oh,
then they
most
can also
definitely.
they can create information for people who might be looking at it, and then so they could have videos that where showing the comparison of the 777 with whoever, with some other truck, right, and some other dump truck.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Lots of, I mean, I think it's early days in a lot of ways. And so just being creative, knowing that people are out there watching these, it's all about eyeballs and, and you say being there and being top of mind when they need you.
Mm-hmm.
So
Now,
it's staying in front of them.
Do you have a sense of comparing this with YouTube? If you're a company, let's say you're a small B2B company,
Yeah.
you can only you can't spread yourself too thin, right? You got to, if you're going to do marketing, and this is something I know I hear this a lot. Okay, and I'm sure you have over the years too. Is you're working with a small B2B company, they might be a $20 million company or even a $50 million company, but they might only have one person running the marketing.
Exactly. So here's what I would do if I was that company. I would actually, and if I really wanted to get into video, because video is obviously more and more consumed by the day, more than any other kind of content.
Well, if you don't mind me plussing that a little, or I mean, just kind of sidebar on this, is to say, if you're not using video, what's wrong?
Exactly, because it doesn't have to be all that professionally
No.
produced anymore. Nobody cares. Everybody,
I think that's actually another episode for us to talk about the truth of using video.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
But I'm fascinated by this TikTok thing, because it's like okay, why?
Well, here's what I would.
Why would people go from using YouTube to go to using?
I don't think you would. I don't think you would.
Okay.
But I know that people are spread thin and they don't have time for things. So the thing about YouTube is it's very searchable and it's very discreet. So if you want to create a video about a very specific topic, you can do that and label it, and it's very buttoned down, almost like a dictionary of videos, and that's the way people use it when they are searching for something and they can find it and read a list and that sort of thing. I would say, while TikTok is searchable, it's a little bit more random, and it's a little bit more, I would say, still entertainment based. Like, yeah, I've got a little spare time and I'm going to watch these videos about the 777 haul truck. because
Mhm.
I love it and it's cool. And I'm going to watch a few of these, or I'm going to, oh, this one catches my interest, rather than, hey, I want to find out how to fix the something nozzle on, this particular piece of equipment. So if I was that small B2B company, I would have my marketing person continue or up their game on YouTube, and just making sure, whether it's instructional videos about our equipment, promotional video, whatever it is, just keep doing that if you only have so much bandwidth. And then I would send out an email to the company, and I would say, hey, company, we'd love to have a TikTok presence. Who in our company uses TikTok and wants to help us, on the side, start producing some, interesting, informative TikTok videos about about the usage of our products, or whatever the thing is. And somebody's going to step up. I work for a nonprofit, and that's exactly how it worked. The person just sort of started making some things on her own, on the side, at home. And it was complementary to, the work of the nonprofit and that sort of thing. And whether you compensate this person, maybe they're an operator, maybe they're a machinist, maybe they're a scientist or a chemist, and they're making, but, who raises their hand.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just like force
Yeah.
multiplier, like, you know what I mean?
A forest of multipliers? No,
Forced. No, Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump. No.
I just started to say that, but no.
Well, the police. So the police, like that, those neighborhood watch signs that you see in windows.
Yeah.
So the police force is multiplied by the whole neighborhood,
Right,
who considers themselves sort of watchers and part of the force. So that's what I mean by force multiplier.
force multiplier. Okay?
Yes.
And nothing Star Wars.
May the force multiplier be with
force multiplier be with you. Okay. All right. So what would you recommend? I mean, I think what we're saying, what you're saying, and I'm very much going to be stepping in and starting to look at this, because it's a tool, and if it's a tool that if the moose are there, then
yeah, they are, and Reels is good too.
Reels
is owned by Facebook, and Facebook/Instagram, aka Meta, a word that is metaverse is probably going away now that Apple has
Facebook/Instagram/Meta, which is gonna go away.
Right. So Reels is good, but its algorithm is not as good as TikTok's. And I don't think the creators, I would say better video creators, are on TikTok right now.
Okay.
And
what about YouTube Shorts?
It hasn't really taken ground. It hasn't taken. They're trying.
Mm-hmm.
Google tried to create a social network too. Remember that? What was it? Google Plus?
Yeah. Oh boy, that was
remember that?
That was bad.
Remember that? And they also tried to create glasses called Google Glasses.
Well, Apple's brought their own out now. So
right, they used to call those people glass holes.
Yeah.
If they wore those glasses.
Well, and Apple comes out with their, and for those of you that are, I don't know when you're listening to this or watching this,
yes,
but this week was the week when they announced they're going to have these sort of a quasi glasses that mix virtual with reality, and they're $3,400.
Exactly.
So. And look, and LinkedIn, these guys both LinkedIn and Facebook came up with this, have moved forward with these reels and shorts, something like that, as a response to TikTok. What is, you mentioned this earlier before we got on. What is the potential negative of TikTok?
Oh, I would say, well, there's a technical negative that the U.S. government is worried about, which is that China is somehow able to get a hold of your personal data and interests, and then use that against you in some way or whatever. So it's owned by ByteDance, which is Chinese company. And now its U.S. subsidiary has supposedly built a wall around that, and they claim that that data isn't shared. So we'll see. I think that'll be in litigation for a long time. So hopefully it will not be shut off down here, or in the U.S. But what was the other part of the question?
Well, that was kind of it. It's like, what are
the negatives? The other negative is that it's addictive. I mean, it actually is addictive. And if you can be on it and lose track of an hour or two of time. And then if someone were to interview you afterwards and say, can you tell me about the videos that you just watched? You might be able to remember one or two out of the 200 that you just watched, something like that. And so it's but you were entertained and you loved it, and it becomes habitual. And that's
they want it to be addictive, right?
Right. So I just went into, this is why you should use this, Steve, because
I can't wait to hear this.
Because I just searched AI prompts in TikTok.
Oh,
there are thousands of videos, and they all have things like, this prompt will save you over 100 hours this year, and secret ChatGPT prompt library, or ChatGPT cheat sheet, ChatGPT super hack. What are these?
I got to get in it, but you know what? But I'm going to be like,
this has 600,000 views.
Wow.
This one has 800,000 views. This one has 16,000, 170,000 views.
Oh,
so yeah, there's a lot here. There's a lot. These are people. They're all people talking about ChatGPT in the video. So it's very people oriented. And then they're talking about their hacks and how they write their prompts and all that kind of thing. One person, chat engineer, prompt engineering.
Yeah, prompt engineering, which we talked about.
Yes, exactly.
Which we taled about.
So
that is extremely important.
So check that out.
All right. So now I'm going to put you on the spot.
All right.
All right. Before we cut out of here.
Okay.
There's no reason for us to go into any other topic today. This has been fascinating for me now. If you are somebody who is listening to this or is watching this, who is a B2B marketing person, owner of a small small B2B company or something like that, what is the first step that they need to take? And how to determine whether TikTok is somewhere where they should be?
I would say, I think it's easier to watch it on a tablet. So if you have a tablet or you're thinking about buying one, just go buy it, so that you can do that. But if you don't, either that or on your phone, download the TikTok app if you don't have it and sign up, which takes about 2 minutes. And then start using it. And don't worry, just familiarize yourself with it. So watch what comes up. Something's going to come up immediately, literally. And you're either going to scroll past it because it's not of interest to you, or you might watch it. And if you ever see something you like, heart it so that the algorithm knows that you like that. Then go into search which is in the upper right, a little magnifying glass search,
Mm-hmm.
and start putting in some of your interests.
Okay.
Some of your interests. They might be personal interests, sports, or hobbies or something like that, because you want to be entertained and want to learn about your hobbies also. But then also put in your business and see, are your competitors on there? Are there users of your business? Are there customers of yours? What is the landscape around your business on TikTok? And you don't just ask somebody, oh, go find this out for me and tell me in a meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Do it yourself, because you don't understand it until you do it.
Right.
And then you'll see. And then just take it from there. But those are the first steps.
First steps. And that's really what I think is we got to do that first. Take the first step. Then you take the second step. Then you don't go into this and go, oh boy, this could be.
Oh yeah, I don't have time for that. It's another thing. It's just too much.
Yeah.
Inch by inch, it's a cinch. Yard by yard, it's hard.
And my philosophy always has been about the moose, as you well know, is that if my moose are there, I need to be there. And if you don't mind me sharing you an example of what I'm talking about, which is just a strange example.
Sure, yeah. What's a strange
Many
example?
years ago, I was consulting for a martial arts company. They had a string of studios across the U.S.
Okay.
In martial arts, because I had been in martial arts, and so I had a real interest in it and stuff like that. But then in my business of consulting and marketing, I thought, well, let me, and I got connected with this company, and I wanted to know, okay, who they did. We kind of figured out who their target market was, right? And their moose.
Yep.
And then I wanted to find out, okay, well, where are the moose hanging out? And so we started researching these guys. We started surveying these guys. And we came up with an absolutely mind-blowing result.
Okay.
We found out that something like 45% of the people who we surveyed, who were they were active martial artists, okay, studying this and stuff like that. 45% of them also read cat magazines.
That's different.
Who saw that coming?
Wow.
Right? 45%. That's a lot. That's a lot.
I mean, I've heard of Kung Fu Panda, but not Kung Fu Kitty.
Yeah, go figure, right?
Go figure.
And so we went to these cat magazines and we said, hey, we want to promote our martial arts studios. They thought we were nuts. And but we did, and it was actually pretty. It went pretty well. We were giving away. Okay, come and try. Have a free lesson. Or 3 free lessons, things like that. And we were they were the only martial arts advertiser in the magazine.
Yeah, just to make you happy, there are thousands of martial arts cats videos on TikTok.
Telling you, I am telling you.
And it's really mostly cats doing martial arts.
Yeah, they're doing martial arts, right?
Yeah, because they are they're agile and they fight in an interesting way.
Anyway, it was one of the most interesting, one of the strangest things I ever encountered, and but it was a perfect example, because I said, you know what, you have to advertise in these magazines because that's where your moose are. They are there. And they couldn't believe it, but they were there.
What did the martial arts guy say when he got karate chopped by the other one?
What's that?
Me. What did the martial arts guy say when he got karate chopped?
I give up. What?
Me. Ow. On that note, I'm taking us out of here because we can't say anything else.
No,
after
I'm done. I got nothing.
right.
I got nothing else. Thank you for all of that. That was a fantastic
All right.
tutorial on
That was
TikTok.
fun.
I appreciate
That was fun.
So
It's just the tip of the iceberg. We're gonna talk more about all sorts of related things. So thank you all for joining us on the B2B Marketing and Sales Podcast with none other than Steve Miller, author of UNCOPYABLE, author of Stealing Genius, author of a whole bunch of other books. The guy's unbelievable. Really, let's just face it. This
It's
guy,
a legend in his own mind.
Yep. Well, that too. And myself, Dave Loomis, the voice, the Dave Loomis, David Mail.
The voice.
Yeah.
The
remember
voice.
that?
Oh my gosh.
Remember the voice?
The voice.
Hello.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
You are the voice. You got to say something, voice.
Okay. I'm going to say goodbye.
Okay.
But I'm going to say my
In the
normal bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the one and only B2B Marketing and Sales Podcast, the source for B2B marketing and sales insight. If you enjoyed the podcast, please be sure to subscribe and leave these old guys a 5-star rating. Check the show notes for any links and contact information. You can always contact us by going to b2bmarketingsalespodcast.com. Thank you, and keep on marketing, keep on selling.